Good. For our next chair, we're going to start again by erasing this man. We don't want him there, and we're going to change to our top view. There we are, top view. Now we're going to draw a rectangle again, starting at the origin. We'll make it any size. This time, however, I want it to be a very specific size. So I want this square to be 500 by 500 millimeters. So I press 500 on the keyboard and comma 500. You have to do this before you press anything else, because if you click on something else, it's going to disable this dimension feature. So you want to do it before you click on anything else. So literally click and drag the square, and then leave the mouse and type in 500 comma 500. You'll see it at the bottom here, not full stop, comma, right? And we press enter, and you will see it will resize. Apparently not. Let's try again. Okay, maybe it's because I was showing you. So let's draw it 500 comma 500, and we press enter, and it resizes. You can resize this as many times as you need. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a height of 100. So we simply use the push pull tool and give it a height of 100. So we use the push pull tool, type in 100 and press enter. So there you have it, right? A perfect 500 by 500 by 100 base. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw the backrest. So again, I want to view this from the top view. I'm going to draw a rectangle from that corner like this. This one needs to be 500 comma 100. So 500 by 100 millimeters. There it is. Okay, and we're going to give it a height of 400. Up we go, 400. Alright, there is the seat of our chair and the backrest. Now we want to draw the legs. This time what we're going to do is we're going to draw planning lines in order to construct the legs accurately. So we're going to orbit down so we can view underneath the chair. Okay, it helps if you're directly underneath here, otherwise you might end up with problems. Now we're going to use the measuring tape tool, and we're going to construct 4 construction lines, one from each edge 100 millimeters away. So there is the tape measure tool. Click on the edge, click anywhere in there, type 100 and press enter. Same for this, click anywhere there, 100. Okay, repeat for the other 2 sides. Right, now we've got 4 squares. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw 4 squares from the corner to that intersection point. So from the corner to the intersection point, and the same for these 2, corner, intersection point, corner, intersection point. Orbit the chair around. Okay, zoom it out a bit there. Right, now we're going to make the legs 400. So click on the leg, drag it out, 400. Same as this, 400. And I'm using the cross-reference method I showed you in the previous video, just so that all the legs are equal. So there we go. There is our chair, perfect 2 dimensions, and I can just use the eraser tool to erase those lines. You can add color and texture if you like. Finally, the final chair. We start a new part. First of all, oh, I don't want to save that. Alright, and erase my man once again. Same as the last time, we're going to start in top view and draw a 500 by 500 millimeter base. 500, comma 500. And we're going to give it a height of, let's orbit that around a little bit, of 100. Remember, the push-pull tool is very difficult to use if you don't orbit the things around. You can't use the push-pull tool if you're viewing it from the top view, for example. So there is my block, 500 by 500 by 100. Now, what I want to do is I want to round off the back of the chair. So I'm going to view it from the top, and I'm going to draw a 3-point arc. Click on this edge, click on that edge. Let me go again there. So top view, move a bit closer. Alright, one edge onto the other edge, and for some reason, oh, there we go, that is fine. Alright, we do not want this arc to touch the back end of this chair. That's going to give us problems later on when we draw the chair. I want it to come close, but it must not touch. Third click over there, zoom out, and we can orbit this around and cut away the back of the chair. So now I've got the base of the chair with a nice rounded back. Alright, let's put that isometric. You can see there's the rounded back. Now, we want to view this chair from the underside. So let's orbit it around so we can view this directly on the underside. What we're going to do now is we're again going to put in some planning lines. This time it's a little bit slightly different. So the first planning line is from this edge onto this intersection point there. First planning line. The second one, 30 millimeters in, 30. And from here, 30, from there, 30. Now we're going to do 130 from the edge, or 100 from that line. Either way, it doesn't matter. So from there, in 130, from there, 130, or like I said before, from here, 100. And from this bottom line here, we're going to do 100. All right, so now what we've got is we've got 8 planning lines, and you'll notice it's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. The next step is very important. What we're going to do is we're going to draw a leg. Just one, at least just a square for now. All right, there is one square. What we do now is we select this entire square using the selection tool, just like that. So it should be, if you know it's selected, if it's shaded like this and all 4 lines there are blue. We right click on the square, we say make component, and we call it leg. You will know if a component is successfully created if you click on it and there's no more shaded area in the middle. So if we click outside there, click on the leg, you'll see there's now just the outline. Now we're going to copy this leg 4 times, and the way we do it is we use the, first we select the leg, make sure it's selected, use the move tool over there, hold in the control key on your keyboard, click and drag that leg like that, and again click and drag, click and drag. So now you should have 4 squares, right? So what we want to do is we now want to give the legs some height. We need to edit these components because this is now a component. You'll notice if you take the push-pull tool, you cannot push-pull this. You can only push-pull the surface of the chair, right? We don't want that. We want to be able to push-pull the leg. So we take the selection tool, double-click on the leg, and we can now use the push-pull tool to make it 400. If you've done this correctly, all 4 legs will come out at the same time because they're 4 identical copies of the same component. Now, I'm going to view this from the front view, and we're going to draw a profile on this leg. The reason we want to do that is we want to cut away this leg. We want to make it look pretty. So I'm just going to use the pencil tool, and there's a couple of rules to this. The first rule is the line has to start on that face. Okay? It cannot go over halfway, over the halfway mark on the chair. So I'm just going to draw it like this. The next rule is this line can never touch this face again. Okay? You can do angles, you can do whatever you like, right? The final rule is that this line must end on this bottom edge somewhere, right? Not on the corner, it has to be just in. Okay? So there I've drawn a profile. That is my profile, and it's drawn on the leg. Now using the follow me tool, I'm going to cut this away. So where's the follow me tool? There it is. Okay, follow me. We click on the profile, and now we follow it along that edge with the mouse, right? All the way around, and back to where we started. Click, and there your legs are shaped. If you have the same problem as what I've got here, these lines, sometimes you can just simply erase that line. See, in this case I can't, unfortunately. It leaves a lot of hollowness. Okay, but some of them you might be able to, so just play around with it. Okay, that top one obviously I can't do, but nevertheless. Okay, you can also use curves if you wish to draw this. I'm going to use curves just to show you. Right, again I'm going to view the front view, and I'm going to draw the profile. Remember the rules we spoke about last time. So I'm going to start on the top edge, right, on the right hand edge. Draw an arc. Again, draw another arc. Right, remember it cannot touch that edge anywhere else. So I'm just going to zoom a little bit closer. Right, and then it can't go more than halfway. And lastly, I'm going to draw down onto the bottom edge. right there. Okay, remember it can't go onto the corner. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to use the follow me tool to cut that away. So I select the follow me, click on the profile, and follow the edge all around. All the way around. Right back to where I started. Didn't work. Let's go again. Let's just turn this a little bit. All the way right back to where we started over there. There we go. Alright. Again, you'll see I've got these funny layers over there. I can just erase them using the eraser. Hopefully. Remember, this doesn't always work. Okay. Let's move that down a little bit. Erase this. And the last little line right there. Okay, there we go. So those are my legs. They are now complete. I don't need to do anything else on them for now. And the way we're going to get out of edit component mode, because remember we're in edit component mode because we're busy working on these legs. Take the selection tool and click anywhere outside and you'll see this becomes white now. If you're in edit component mode, everything else is gray except for the component you're editing. Once you're out of it, everything gets back to color. Right, quickly going to erase these planning lines, those and these at the top there. Good. There you have it. Right, what we're going to do now is we want to round off these edges. And we're going to do it as follows. Draw a line. You can either draw a line or an arc. I'm going to draw an arc on this front surface. So actually, best is view it from the front and draw an arc like that on the front surface. Now again, we're going to use the follow me tool. There it is, follow me. Click on the profile and follow it along the edge. But now you need to be quite meticulous here, because if you're not careful, this is going to go to all sorts of different places. We don't want that. We want it to follow along this top edge, right? And like I said, to be a little bit meticulous here. Right, let's go back and let's try and get it to follow. There we go, right back to the origin. Good, nicely rounded off. Okay, remember you can also use just a straight line for that. You don't have to use the arc. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the poles for the backrest. And the way we do that is as follows. View this from the top view, and we're going to draw one circle over here. Not too big, not too small. Okay, there we go. Now, in fact, I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger. Okay, after we've drawn that circle, we're going to use the push-pull tool. There we go, that looks better. We use the push-pull tool and make that 400 high, just that circle. There we go. Click it and type 400 and press enter. Okay, sticking up. Now, I want to change this into a component. The way we do that is you need to select it manually. You can't use the click and drag function, because you'll notice if I use the click and drag function, it selects other lines at the back here, which I don't want. So we need to select four things. Top surface, the front main surface, top edge, bottom edge. Just like that. Right click, make component. Call it pole. Create. So there we go. The way you know it's a component is if you click on it and it's got that square box around it. Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move this pole to the other side. And this can be a little bit tricky. First thing we do, select the pole, click on the rotate tool, and you'll notice I've got that compass protractor on again. What we need to do is this needs to be midpoint and it needs to be blue. You'll notice if it's not at the right place, it turns black. So blue, well, midpoint, click once. Now it's locked onto that surface. Now, press and hold the control key, click on the pole, keep holding the control in, move the pole to its final position over there. Now, without clicking anything else, we're going to use the array function to insert poles between there. You press 4 and divide. You'll see it over there in the corner, and press enter. Alright, I took too long, so let me copy this again. So, blue, midpoint. Oh, need to select the pole first. Select the pole, rotate, blue, midpoint. Click once, hold on Control, click on the pole. Okay, rotate it to the end position, press 4, divide, enter. Okay, let's go 6, divide, enter. No, I prefer 4. There we go. That's the poles copied. The next step we're going to do is we're going to draw an arc on this chair at the back there. Alright, so we're going to view it from the top again. And in fact, I'm just going to orbit it a little bit like this. Draw a 3-point arc, starting around about there, all the way. In fact, let's do it this way. Let's start over here, on that edge, all the way to that edge, and we set the radius like that. Alright, now what we've got is we've got two surfaces at the top there. This is the one, the other one is over there. We want to move this surface up on top of those poles, and this is the way we do it. Click on the surface, click on the move tool, hold in the control key and move the surface. I'm just orbiting a little bit like that. Hold in the control key and move the surface to on top of the poles. Right? It does take a bit of doing. There we go. Click again to lock it. Right. Now use the push-pull tool to push-pull a nice backrest. We can erase this final line and make this into a component. Actually, you don't need to, doesn't it? I'm going to make it into a component. Select the whole thing, right click, make component, create. Now we can add whatever wood texture you prefer and make it look nice. Remember, if you want to change anything on here, you have to then double click so that you can edit the component and then click outside to get out. That is how we draw our 3 chairs.